I wanna get closer, wanna come over. I wanna get moving, grooving. Your folks disapprove it. We can have fun, yeah. Don't need no money, and we can be brilliant without millions. Baby, there ain't no closer. Wanna come over. I wanna get moving, grooving. Your folks disapprove it. We can have fun, yeah. Don't need no money, and we can be brilliant without millions. Get up and down, get up and down, get up and down and move around. Get up and down, get up and down, get up and down and move I wanna pull over and pick a 4-leaf clover. I want you to kiss me, diss me, and say you really missed me. We can watch stars, yeah, and we can dance on top of cars, yeah. We can make billions, not zillions. I wanna pull over and pick a 4-leaf clover. I want you to kiss me, diss me, and say you really missed me. We can watch stars, yeah, and we can dance on top of cars, yeah. We can make billions, not zillions. Get up and down, get up and down, get up and down and move around. Get up and down, get up and down, get up and down and move
I hold on to this storm 'cause I need to be swept away, swept away. I'm cornered in the cold where you left me. Left again, left again. Oh, there's a jungle in my head growing wilder, and it's killing me, killing me. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go.
It's Mezcal Monday, and today we're taking a look at Burrito Fiestero right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're doing Mezcal Monday. And so I think from now on, Mondays, we're going to be doing Q&As on Mezcals because I want to get you guys a little more familiar with them. There's still a lot of people out there that don't know what they're doing as far as Mezcals go. And Mezcals can be just as tricky of a category to get into as tequila is. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Mezcals on Monday. And today I'm going to talk to you about a brand that I've worked with and done some reviews for here. That's what I mean by work with. I've reviewed a couple of their expressions, and I've become good friends with the people that own the brand and gotten really familiar with it. And I really love what they're doing. And so far, every single mezcal from them I've tried, I've liked, I recommended their previous stuff for beginners as well. It's a very good quality mezcal. They're a little bit kind of like a dark horse or one that's not really well known, a brand, but they're getting more recognition. And for me, I think it's one of the better brands that I've had. It's definitely up there with some of the better quality mezcal. So we're going to talk about Burrito Fiestero today. But first, we're going to check in with some of the people here with some questions, stuff about mezcals, because I saw some stuff here I want to talk about, first of all. Jesus, he says in there, he tasted mezcal for the first time on Saturday, and he said it tasted like gasoline. Yeah, okay. Not all mezcal is going to taste good, just like all tequila is not going to taste good, right? So you have to find the kind that's going to be appealing to you. It's like if somebody was to try Jose Cuervo and then come out and say, yeah, I don't like tequila because I don't like the way it tastes. You can't base the whole category off of one that you've tried. This means you tried the wrong one. There's a saying a lot in mezcal, and it's like, if you haven't found a mezcal, if you don't like mezcal, it's because you haven't found one that you liked yet. There's so many different flavor profiles that you can get from mezcal, ranging from fruity to earthy to all kinds of different flavor profiles. And it's a lot more expansive than tequila is, because tequila can only use Weber Blue Agave, where there's like 50 plus different types of varieties of agave that mezcal can use. So it's kind of a different animal, but yet it's kind of the same, because tequila in itself is mezcal. So by definition, mezcal is a spirit that's made from a cooked agave plant. So it fits as a mezcal. And when tequila was first created, it was called Vino de Mezcal de Tequila. So it was wine of a mezcal from the area of tequila. So they ended up getting the name and then calling it tequila. And then it became more industrialized, where they use steam generators, what are the big boilers, industrial boilers to create the steam for the ovens. They use different steel ovens and stuff. They quit cooking them in the pits and stuff. But if you look at like Ancestral tequila, it was made the same way as mezcal is. It's just now you've got an expansive amount of agave that you can use. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about with this mezcal, is that it comes from a different area than a lot of mezcals that we're familiar with. It doesn't come from Oaxaca. It comes from the state of Durango in Mexico. Now, some people too like to pick up the stuff that's aged. Really, honestly, a really good mezcal, it won't be aged. It won't be aged. You're going to taste a lot of great stuff. It doesn't need to be aged from a really good quality mezcal. There's some mezcals out there that are okay, that are aged, but avoid those. I mean, really, to really get a really good mezcal, you don't need it to be aged. You'll get a wonderful flavors and stuff from it, just from the agave profiles, okay? And for those of you that are members and have been kind of following me on the mezcal journey, you guys have experienced some stuff that I've recommended and we've done tastings of that has been quite good, and you guys are getting there. I want to try to bring some more people into the loop so we get some more people enjoying this wonderful spirit. All right, so let's not waste any more time. Let's talk a little bit more about Burrito Fiestero and the expressions that we're talking about. Now, before I did the review of their regular Cenizo Artesanal. And so that one was a really good beginner level mezcal. I've recommended it to a lot of people that wanted to try mezcal for the first time, and they liked it. So that was good. So we're going to talk a little bit about production on it. So, of course, the distillery, the Vinata is what it's called for mezcal, is located in Nombre de Dios, Durango, which is a different state in Mexico. It's there's a lot of agave that it's grown there, wild, a lot of wild different species and stuff. So this particular brand is, we're going to talk about the artesanal first. It's pretty much cooked, the same way as most other mezcals. We're going to take a look here. I got some pictures I'm going to show you guys. So this is their Vinata in Durango for the artesanal line. So with artesanal, it means that there's copper pot stills, which you can see all the stills lined up here. It is cooked in an earthen pit. And then it is then fermented in wooden vats. You see the wooden vats there in the back there under the arches. And then after it is then fermented, then it is distilled using these copper pot stills here. And it's got a nice production facility. You notice too, there's solar panels on the top of this this Vinata. They like to use green energy as much as they can. They can't use it for cooking in the pit. They use wood, of course, and fire. But they do use it to power the stills, and they do use it to power their grinder for chopping up the agave once it's cooked, and they use it for that. And once instead of using wood and stuff and burning wood, because wood is kind of a thing with mezcal and sourcing wood, they don't want to try to use up all the trees in the area. So if they can find other ways to provide energy, that's a good thing for mezcal. And it also cuts down on the smoke present in the Vinata, and we'll talk a little bit about that during distillation stuff here. So this is the Vinata for their artisanal line, and so let's talk a little bit about the expression we're going to talk about. This one is the Burrito Fiestero Artesanal. This is an ensemble. Now, one thing that's different about this ensemble versus a lot of other ensembles that you'll see out there is that there's no espadín in this ensemble. It is two different agave that are growing naturally in their region, and it's abundant in the Nombre de Dios region of Durango. The two agave that they use are called Cenizo and Verde. So we're gonna put up some plants here, so you can see what they look like here. So this is Maguey Cenizo. You can see it here on the right, towards the top there. That is what the agave looks like. Cenizo is a very mild agave, nice fruity flavors and stuff from it. It's very good. And if you haven't tried a Cenizo, their Cenizo is great. Burrito Fiestero also makes the Cenizo for Bozal. So if you've tried the Bozal Cenizo, they make it very fruity. This is very appealing to tequila drinkers. This is a nice entry level mezcal agave. So what they did here is they use Cenizo, and they also use Maguey Verde, which Maguey Verde looks like this. It's a different agave. So they trim these up and use the piñas to make this particular mezcal. So that's what the agave looks like. So they use artisanal means, which means it's cooked in an earthen pit. Then they crush it using a crusher or a shredder, and then they crush it with a mill, and then they ferment in wooden vats. And then after fermentation is done, then they use copper pot stills to distill it, just like most good artisanal mezcals. So this one comes in. This one, they said basically this is kind of like they're a little bit above entry level mezcal in that it has a higher percent alcohol. This comes in at 46 alcohol ABV, so 46 ABV. So it's a little bit going to be a little bit stronger than some of the more milder espadines and stuff that you may find out there. But what really means is that when you have a higher proof mezcal, it means more flavor. Okay. So let's dive into this one a little bit. We'll do a tasting and see what this is all about and see if it sounds like something that is in line with what you might like. I haven't tried it yet, so this is my first time trying it as well, and I'll give you my opinion on it. I love their regular Cenizo. It is very good. So let's take a look at this one. This is Cenizo in Verde Ensemble. It's brand new. We have it in fermented still. I think we still have the regular artisanal Cenizo on fermented still as well. And then we have some other stuff. We'll talk about their other stuff, their artisanal stuff in a minute. So looking at this in the glass, it coats the glass beautifully. You can see the legs and tears starting to form. So it's got a nice viscous mouthfeel to it. Nice oils present, which is good. Looking at the Mezcal, it is crystal clear. Looks beautiful. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, so let's see what we get on the nose on this. All right, so I am picking up notes of cinnamon, and then beautiful, like, tropical fruits are coming through. I get like a hint of banana. Definitely some citrus notes, some like orange citrus. Even some pineapple coming through on it too. It's got a nice fruity nose to it. I love the fruit presence on this. It prevents very nicely. You definitely can pick up a nice minerality from the fresh mountain spring water that they use coming through. So it's nice and crisp and clean on the nose. I don't smell anything wrong with this at all. It is very appealing on the nose. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Coats the mouth nicely. I'm going to give this a second to acclimate my mouth to 46% alcohol. But so far, I'm liking what I taste. All right. Definitely has a nice fruitiness to it. There's definitely some of that cinnamon, sweet cinnamonness in there. But then it's followed by a nice tart fruit. So I'm definitely picking up some definitely like some pineapple. It has that beautiful sweetness, but then a little bit of tartness in there as well. Definitely citrus in there. Grapefruit is what comes to mind. And then there's a little hint of trying to decipher what that is. It's a kind of a little bit of earthiness that's coming through, and it's got a little bit of pepper to it too. Definitely picking up some pepper on the finish on this. Yeah, definitely a hint of pepper on the finish. A little hint of grassiness towards the end too. So it starts out with nice fruitiness, and then you get this nice grassiness on the finish. Nice pepperiness to it. It has a little bit of spice. And you know, Alejandro, the owner of the, told me, he goes, this would make a really nice spicy Paloma. And I agree, it will. It will actually make a nice spicy Paloma. It's got a little bit of that peppery spice to it, which I think is wonderful. This is a really nice Mezcal. If you like fruit flavors and you enjoy, you know, tropical and tart fruits, this might be a really good Mezcal for you to have. I'm getting no smoke from this at all, zero smoke. It's just more fruit goodness that's coming through it. It is a little high on the alcohol, so yeah, you know, you do feel the alcohol, the presence of alcohol, but this is really good. So I would rate this one as a strong 4 agave. It's definitely really good. I really enjoy it, and I recommend it. I think everybody should try it as a entry-level, mid-entry level type of Mezcal. It's gonna have a little bit of a heat to it. It's not gonna be, you know, I hate the word, but smooth. It's not gonna drink like water. It's got personality to it, and that's one thing I really like. And a little bit of that heat carries that flavor profile on, so that flavor sits with you for a little while. I'm still getting some of that really nice fruitiness that's still carrying on the palate right now, which is really nice. I like it a lot. So I recommend it. That's a good one. So what do you guys think? How does it sound to you? Does it sound like flavors that you might be interested in, and something that might be appealing to you? comment. Let me know. Brooks, he says, "Whoa, I'm drinking Bozos." Yep. Well, guess what? Burrito Fiestero makes it for him. They make the Cenizo for him. But if you try their regular artisanal Cenizo that they make, I think it's better. I think it tastes better than the Bozo one. I blew through my first bottle of Burrito Fiestero Ensemble for the price. It's amazing. It is. It's absolutely amazing mezcal, and the price is right on it. It's not super expensive at all. So I definitely, it's definitely good. So what is this? Todd says, "I'm going to change my buying habits to drink one, save one, because this rabbit hole is much deeper than it can get expensive because there's a lot to choose from. So it can definitely get expensive when you start getting more and more into it. I really like this mezcal, and I'm starting to get kind of a really interesting almost vanilla note on the finish on this, which is kind of cool. I like this. I like this one a lot. I'm definitely going to be enjoying this one. I recommend it. I think you guys will like it. It's very good. All right. So now that we've got the artisanal one done, I highly recommend it. Grab it. 4 agave, solid mezcal. I think you guys will enjoy it. Let's talk a little bit about the artisanal line. Now, the first artisanal line they came out with was with an agave called Masparillo. And so if you guys remember, I did a review on this. These bottles are hand painted by local people, the village people in Nombre de Dios in Durango. So each of them is different. It looks different, but it's kind of like the same design, but it's just painted different. So these are like artwork. I have a few bottles of these because I have drank a few bottles of the Masparillo. I like it a lot. We still have the Masparillo on fermented still. It's not out of stock yet. But once the stock that we have is done, it's done, and it'll be gone for several years because this is wild agave, so they don't produce a lot of it, and they just do it every few years because they need to give the agave time to grow, and because it's wild and it normally grows for many years before it's harvested. So this is what the Masparillo bottle looks like. It was great. This is a fantastic mezcal. I really enjoy this one. I drank like 3 or 4 bottles of this, so it's really good. But the Ancestral is going to be a little more expensive because, of course, it is wild agave, and then because they do small batches of it. It's not you're not doing a ton of it at a time. So this agave that they use for this one is Castilla. So it is from the Angustifolia family, which is the same family that Espadin comes from, but it's different. It's not the same type of agave. It's different. It's just classified in the same family. And this is the bottle for it. So this one's a really cool bottle for the Castilla. It is looking really cool. And they got the agave right here on it and all these beautiful hand painted. You can see all the brush marks and stuff on it. So it's a really cool piece of art to have after you finish the mezcal. You keep it on your shelf and stuff, and it's little local artwork from Durango, Mexico. So that's really cool. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the production of this this mezcal. So I've got a picture of the Venata in which they have at their hacienda. They have three different Venatas that they use to make different stuff, because they also make a sotol. So they have a different actually no, the sotol's done in the artisanal. They have a mezcal gin that they make that's really good. I've reviewed the mezcal gin before. It's fantastic. I love it. I highly recommend that. But they have another Venata for just the mezcal gin. But this is the Ancestral Venata. And if you notice, the difference with Ancestral versus artisanal here is that you notice they're right here, they're breaking up the agave, so they're crushing the agave by hand. So in this Venata, you see these vats at the top by where the guys are standing. There's ones right in front where there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Those are the fermentation vats. So they basically do it in ground in cement, and they just put the fiber in there with a little bit of water, mountain water, and they ferment it that way. And then after it is done fermented, it goes into these wooden stills. So these are Spanish wooden stills, and they still it using these wooden stills with the fiber. So in these wooden stills, there's clay pots on the bottom. They put them in the liquid and the fibers in the clay pots, and they warm it up, and then they distill it using these wooden wooden stills. Now, so I'm gonna give you a closer look at the crushing on the. So the guys use axes, and they basically put the agave into that area where they were standing before, and crush it with axes and shred it, and then they put it into the smaller cement areas there, and add water, and then ferment it in that. And so they do that, and then they will after it's done fermenting, then distill it using, you see the wooden stills right there next to them, next to those brick pylons. And that's where they do the distillation of it. And so this is going to be a little bit higher alcohol content, I believe. Let me look at this. Here we go. So this is 49.1% alcohol by volume. So it's a little higher on the alcohol. It is ancestral, so it is made the old-fashioned way, which is good. And this is using, it's using agave, Castilla, and the cork got stuck. So let me pop this out. Got to put some glue on this cork and get it to stick here. But let's see if I can get this out. It's got some gooey. It's been hot here in Southern California, so I think the glue. Here we go. Yeah, okay, we got it done. So I'll need to glue that. And what happens sometimes when you're dealing with tequilas and stuff, and the cap separates from the cork, sometimes a little just Gorilla Glue on that, and it'll hold it in place and fix it for you. That happens. It happens with all kinds of bottles. I've had it happen. Several different bottles. All right, so let's check out the Castilla and see what we get on this. I've been excited to try these. I've been really enjoying Burrito Fiestero. It's one of my favorite mezcal brands. Everything they've done has been fantastic. The mezcal gin is extraordinary. If you haven't tried the mezcal gin and you're a gin drinker, it's a treat. Try it. I definitely recommend it. And then you can make cocktails with it, like, Gronies and stuff. Oh, it makes good cocktails. But it's very tasty to just a sip. So looking at this in the glass, it coats the glass beautifully. You can see the legs and tears starting to form. So it's got a nice viscosity to it. Definitely a nice oily creaminess to the mouthfeel. Looking at the mezcal, it is crystal clear. It looks beautiful. Little shimmers of silver coming off of it in the glass. All right, on the nose on this one, super fruity nose. I love fruity mezcals. Super fruity on the nose. Very citrus, very orangey citrus on the nose. It's like it's like a citrus. It's like being in a citrus orchard, or orange grove. It smells really good. So it's got nice citrus notes to it on the nose. So let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Wow. All right, we're going to dive into this one again. Hold on a second. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Wow. So this one is interesting. I'm definitely picking up fruitiness to it. Like the beginning, I'm picking up kind of like a tart citrus. But then it goes really to a nice earthy, almost fresh leather kind of note that comes through. There is more smoke present in this one. So I'm definitely, if you're somebody that's right now super sensitive to smoke, this wouldn't be a good one for you to start with. But the complexity that the smoke adds to this flavor profile, it almost brings like a bittersweet chocolate note to it, which I like a lot. But it has a nice earthy leather-esque kind of note that comes through on it. It's very grounded. So you get a little bit of hint of fruit in the beginning, but then for me, it becomes really earthy and grounded, which I like in some mezcals, and it's very balanced. So it's not like over the top earthy. You still have that fruitiness, a little bit like sweet agave, like cinnamonous that comes through on it, and it's just it's beautiful. It's great. I love this one. This one's really different than a lot of the other ones that we've had before. I love the way the earthiness and the fruit kind of intermix with each other, and it gives this kind of with the smoke mixing with it, you get this this kind of bittersweet chocolate-esque kind of note to it, which I like. I love bittersweet chocolate. And I like this one. I like this a lot. It's very complex. I can actually spend some time with this and try to find some more with it. Yeah. It starts off with kind of a grapefruit citrus. And then you get this really nice leather earthiness that comes through, and then it develops into like a dark chocolate, definitely a bittersweet chocolate note. And then it finishes with kind of like a chocolate sweet, yeah, there's fruit in there, mixed in there too. It's beautiful. It's really nice. I like it. I can spend some time with this. I can really spend some. I'm thinking I'm going to spend some time with this one tonight, with a nice cigar outside, and really enjoy the flavors that this is delivering. This is something different. This isn't going to taste like tequila. It's not super fruity. So if you're looking for super fruity, I would definitely go more of the artisanal one on this, the Ensemble. That one will suit you well. This has got a more of an earthy mouthfeel to it, earthy taste to it. So it's more of leather and an earthiness to it. And I think it's well balanced and well grounded. I like this one a lot. How would I rate this with the Masperillo? Well, they're two different animals. The Masperillo, I think, is a lot more fruit to it, where this is more earthy. I can see myself drinking a lot of this and enjoying it. So because of how different this is and how complex it is, I'm going to rate this one a 5 agave. So this one, I think, for those of you that have been on the Mezcal journey with me and have been trying some interesting stuff and have developed the palate where you kind of know what's going on, I recommend this one. Try it. Todd, that means you. I think you really like this one, buddy. It's different. It's fun. It tastes very easy to drink and very well done. I'm pleased. I'm impressed. So I recommend it. It's very good. Now it's going to be a little more expensive because it is artisanal, and they only made a few hundred bottles of this. And so once this is gone, it's going to be a few years before you'll see this one again too. And I think they said it's going to be a few years before you'll see another our Ancestral one come out, because of course these are wild agave that they're using. So they're really big on sustainability and not using up all the agave. So they let it grow. They actually, for every bottle that they sell, they plant agave, but some of this takes 15, 20 years for it to grow out and be ready and mature for mezcal. So they want to make sure that there's plenty for everybody for generations. So they're not going to overproduce it and use up all the local agave. So I really appreciate them for that. They're very big on sustainability and on being green and environmentally friendly. And that's one of the things I really like about this brand as well too. So yeah, Burrito Fiestero, you guys, put it on your list as a brand to try. It's one of my favorite mezcal brands. I always have something from them on the shelf. I'll show you the mezcal gin. It's fantastic, you guys. If you haven't tried it, all right, so this is the mezcal gin. If you can tell, this is my third bottle of this. It's really good, and it has all the botanicals listed on the bottle. They have to for mezcal. You cannot use additives in mezcal without putting them on the bottle. So you don't have to ever worry about getting additives on here. But see, they used additives in this one for the for the botanicals. And so they list all the botanicals that they use on here. And this is fantastic stuff. It's really good. And also, I've done a review and talked about their agave nectar. It is the best agave nectar ever. They don't use diffusers to make the agave nectar. And it is absolutely fantastic agave nectar. It's a little on the pricier side, but it is so good and makes the most amazing cocktails. And just so you know, when you do buy a bottle of it, there's no chemicals or anything in it. It's all natural. So you kind of have to use it up quickly or put it in the refrigerator because it will start fermenting and in your cupboard and will actually blow the cork out of the bottle when it does so. So put it in the refrigerator and keep it cool if you're not going to be drinking it for a long time. But it makes the best Tommy's margaritas or Palomas or any other cocktail where you use agave nectar in it that you have ever had, because it is just the best quality agave nectar. So that's it, you guys. Let's visit with some of our subscribers, see the questions that they have. What is it? Roland says I'm drinking Bozal Cenizo now. Yeah, they make the Cenizo for Bozal, so that's theirs. So if you want to try, I know you're in Hawaii, I believe. If you can get their artisanal Cenizo there, it's fantastic. I think you'd love it. Let's see, where else do we need to go here? Shaman says, yes, I've really enjoyed everything I've tried from they just are solid. It's Ryan says, I'm a big fan of this one. I killed the regular artisanal Cenizo and plan on grabbing the entire line whenever I can find. Okay. Yeah, I recommend it. It's very good. It's a good quality. It's a sleeper. A lot of people don't know about Burrito Fiestero. And when you look at it, it's got the cartoon burro on it. Because Burrito Fiestero means little party donkey, basically. And it's kind of fun, but it's serious. It's serious mezcal. So, yeah, the expression is much more complex and earthy than the blue bottle Mesperillo expression. Blue is my baby, orange is my new sip, and dissect all that. Yeah, it's very complex. That's one of the things I really like about it, is the complexity that it has. It's different. Both of them would be good to sip, on their own, because they're so different. So if one day you want to sip something that's more earthy, you can have this Castilla, and the next day you want something more on the fruity side, the Masperillo works great. And so, but the Masperillo, whatever stock we have left, that's it. And then once it's gone, it'll be gone for a few years until they make another batch. They're going to let, the wild agave grow and do its thing. So Todd says, I was waiting for the show before placing my, okay, great. Mezcal gin is different from anything I've had in a good way. Yeah, it's definitely very good. Don R says, thanks for the information. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Glad that you enjoyed it. So which was the 5 agave? Yeah, the Castilla. The Castilla was the 5 agave one. This one is really complex and different. And Ryan, I know you. I think you're gonna really like this one. It's very different and enjoyable. It's got a combination of fruit and earthiness to it. I think you're gonna come back and tell me that you really like it. I'm beginning to know your palate pretty much from our discussions on the Discord and stuff. I think this one is you're gonna really like it, but it's a little on the pricier side because it is a Ancestral. It's not artisanal. So and they only made a few hundred bottles of this, and that's it. So it's very good. Heck yeah, consider it ordered. Yeah. And when you do, hey, let me know what you think. I always love hearing your guys' comments on what you think of stuff when I recommend it. And, maybe we can do a live group tasting of it with the members and stuff. That'd be fun. But it's really good. I really love it. I think you guys will too. So I'm going to be sitting with it right here tonight. I may do a live Instagram stream while I'm sipping it and we'll talk more about it when I enjoy a good cigar with it. So, all right. Any other questions? Any other comments? Don't forget to give me a like for the information I shared, you guys. We're going to do these Mezcal Mondays now every week. We're going to move the regular Q&A to another day. I'm thinking like maybe Wednesday would be a good day for just a regular tequila Q&A with the Hombre. And tomorrow, we're going to do tomorrow, we're going to take a look at the new G4 Madeira tomorrow. And I'm working on getting Felipe Camarena to join me. So far, it looks really good, but he's been such a busy guy, so I'm hoping he'll be able to join us tomorrow night. So I'll have him live here for the members to ask questions too, hopefully. So make sure you join in tomorrow. We're going to do that one at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so it's 9 Eastern here on the Tequila Hombre channel. So we'll have the G4 Madeira. We'll also talk about Primo and maybe do a comparison between the two, the differences and stuff. But we'll have Felipe Camarena here to talk and answer questions. And it's always a joy when I can have him join me on here. He is kind of like a member of my family, a really special guy. I love him. I love Alan, his son. I love his whole family. They're really nice people, and I've really it's been a pleasure knowing them, and I enjoy calling them all friends, and really they're my Mexican family. So hopefully we'll have them here tomorrow to join us for our Tuesday, where we're going to look at G4 Madeira edition, and then also we can look at the Primo as well and compare them and talk about all of the new stuff that El Pendio is working on. All right, so that's it. Todd says, thanks for giving more love to Mezcal. Everyone needs to know. Yeah, I think so. I think more people need to get experience with Mezcal. Just because you had a bad experience with it in the past, you might have tried one that wasn't right for you. I have. You know, I made that mistake. I have tried a Mezcal before that for me tasted like licking a burnt truck tire. And I said, you know, maybe Mezcal's not for me. But that would be the same equivalent to like drinking Jose Cuervo as your tequila for the first time and then saying, okay, this is disgusting. I don't like the way tequila tastes. You can't do that because there's so many different flavor profiles, so many different things that you can try and you can experience with Mezcal. The saying goes with Mezcal, if you don't like Mezcal, it's because you haven't found the one that you liked yet. So you got to keep trying. It's a journey. And that's why people talk about the rabbit hole. There's so many different flavors, so many different things that you can experience to the point where you get to the point where tequila becomes somewhat boring because tequila is pretty much the same flavor profile all the time from the Weber Blue Agave, little differences, little nuances, but it's pretty much the same and it doesn't have nearly as much flavor as you're getting from Mezcal. And if you've ever tried a tequila made like a Mezcal, you'll notice a lot more flavor in it, like the La Luna Ancestral that we have on Ferment and Still. Fantastic. It's Weber Blue Agave. It's like tequila, basically made the old-fashioned way. Beautiful flavor profile to it. It's amazing stuff. If you haven't tried it, you owe it to yourself to try it. So that's it for now. What is this? My brother and his friend couldn't stand Mezcal. Well, there you go. It happens. Some people, you know, sometimes it takes a little time to get used to it. You know, sometimes you have to revisit it because they're new flavors. They're not things that you're going to be used to. It's new stuff, you know, so it takes some acclimation. Oh, here we go. He finished it. And then he tried Los Vecinos del Campo, Espadín, and Tobala. Oh, that's a really good one too. That's a good entry-level one as well. I love Los Vecinos. I like Burrito Fiestero more, but Los Vecinos del Campo is good. So then, it became you became a lover of Mezcal after that, Eric. Your first bottle of Mezcal ever was the Vago TBC buy. I'm now up to 30 plus bottles. I've already had about 14 bottles of La Luna. Gonna grab one more La Luna Ancestral. Okay, there you go. It's once you get into the good stuff, it becomes an addiction. You start going, wow, I didn't know that these kind of flavors were available in a Mezcal spirit. It's great. It becomes exciting. It becomes expensive, like Todd said, because these are done in small quantities. So it's more expensive for trucking it to the United States, importing it all the time. Everything's got to be spread out over a smaller amount of bottles. But you'll notice a lot more flavors, a lot more a better experience in my opinion. I love tequila. I'm a huge fan of tequila, but Mezcal just really is fantastic as far as all the flavor profiles go. Okay, Eric says they much more open to it. Have to share my Vago TBA bottle with them. There you go. they'll really like that one. I'm sure that the Vago, the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective Vago batch is amazing stuff too. It's super fruity. If you're looking for the first one to try where you want a bunch of fruit to the point where it tastes like bubble gum, that is an excellent mezcal for that. All right. So you guys, don't forget to give me a like for the information I shared. Sorry I wasn't here for last week. I was on vacation. I needed some time to wind down and kind of refocus a little bit. So I've done that. I'm back now. We're going to do get some really good content up for you guys. Do some really good reviews. I've got some mezcals that are coming in now for reviews. So we're going to add more of those to the mix. We're going to be up on our mezcal game on fermented still as well. So we have a lot more stuff to offer you guys. We're going to go a little bit crazy on mezcals on Mondays, but don't worry, we still have lots of great tequila information to give for you guys. I'm always here to answer questions too. And if you want more access to more information, join the channel here, as well as join the Discord, which is the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective membership. And you guys, you get access to some really special tequilas that I'm bringing in through my connections with the distilleries and stuff. Special stuff you won't find anyplace else that's exclusive to us. And then you also get access to our community where people like Ryan, who's commented here, and as well as Shaman and some other guys that are on here, are part of that community as well. We share all kinds of information. We share our thoughts, our opinions. Everybody gets along well with each other. It's a good time. It's a very good community, very friendly, and you'll get a lot more information, a lot more in-depth stuff. And then if you want suggestions about things, you comment in there. You'll get lots of good suggestions from a lot of people there. And then you also get instant access to me, where if you just tag me on the Discord, I answer stuff immediately. I'm always on there. I'm always talking to people. And the members get priority on answering all the questions and stuff. So membership is definitely worth it. It has its privileges. It's only $10 a month. It's only $10 a month for each. So it's like the cost of 2 Starbucks coffees a month. And you get this access to all these great tequilas and stuff that you can get, as well as special buys that we do, discounts on ferment and still, and then also information on the Discord, and then additional member-only information and member-only content on the YouTube channel as well. So there you go. Ryan says, yes, very expensive, but so good. I love it. Somebody needs to make the Mezcal matchmaker. There you go. I'm sure that's probably in the works. Udaman, thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. And Udaman for being a member and supporting the channel. I appreciate all of you guys that are members. Thank you so much. You're the ones that are going to be able to talk to Felipe tomorrow. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll get him wrapped up here. I've been talking with them today, and he's got a really busy schedule. He's got some stuff he's working on, but I'm hoping, he says he's hoping to be able to do it tomorrow. So I'll hopefully finalize that sometime tomorrow morning or so. And then when I post the thumbnail, if it's got him on it, then he'll be with us. If it's not, then we'll still talk about the Madeira and the Primo, and maybe I can get him on another time. But hopefully we'll be able to work this out and have Felipe join us tomorrow. That'd be fantastic. All right, guys. Well, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad mezcal, especially if it tastes like gasoline. Yuck. Stay away from that stuff. Learn about the good stuff. Learn about what to try, what not to try, right here on the Tequila Hombre. Until next time, salud. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.